Lisa here. I wanted to share with you some really easy watercolor techniques that I find really important in watercoloring, and you'll find that I use these techniques all the time in my tutorials, so I thought I'd just kind of give you an idea of what I mean when I say certain things. So let's get started. I am using a couple of Daniel Smith watercolors for this. Green Appetite, Appetite Genuine, Rose of Ultramarine, Moon Glow, and Wisteria, and they are all super fun watercolors to use. Okay, so the first thing that I like that watercolors, just any watercolors like to do, is we like to use, a lot of time you use flat washes, and I'm going to take some of this green because this green, oh my gosh, it is awesome. So a flat wash, when you do it right, and I got some green on my brush, this is a flat wash. You're not, it's about the same tone, you're not adding extra water, and you would go down all the way, and you would just keep adding water and pigment to this. Now, it looks easy, and in theory, it is a very easy thing to do. The problem is when you go back, you can get blooms, so you really have to do it fast and like just fast. You're not thinking about it, you just have to do it. And it takes practice. It takes time to know exactly how much pigment you need and what you can do. So there you go. Now I have this flat wash. It's pretty flat. There's not a whole lot of extra tones on it. Now what I could do, if I wanted to add, maybe I'm making a, I don't know, some kind of greeny landscape, I could go in with my flat brush and I could add, maybe this is the horizon line. I don't know. It could be whatever you want it to be. And then maybe you want it to be darker up here. All right, so that is a flat wash, and then I'm adding what I would call texture or brush strokes, whatever you want to call this. And that is a fun thing to add to your painting. Okay, so that's pretty simple. And really that's what watercolor is all about, is just adding tones and values and lines and shapes to create paintings. So how does that work here? Let's try it. I have this card panel is ready to go. This is on Strathmore paper. I stamped and embossed a stamp from Blue Knight Stamps called You and Me. And let's show you how you can do this flat wash really easy. Once you have it stamped with embossing powder and it's a resist, you can make this card super easy. And I'm just using this is the Rose of Ultramarine. Look at how beautiful that is. And with this brush, I can really get good coverage pretty fast. I do like working with what we call wet pigment, pigment straight from the tube. You don't have to, you can use it from your palette. If you have scribble sticks, you can do the same thing. You just wet the scribble sticks with your brush and do it. All right, so there you go. Now I wanted to highlight some of the other things, so then what I could do is I could go in and make that darker. I could go in and make this a bit darker, and if I need to, which I'm going to need to get this moon glow going, and I can add even a darker part of it right here, just to give it some interest. Now what I could do is, if I wanted to, I could even splatter a little bit. That gives it some texture. But then once I like it, and I do like this, I like how dark it is, it's gonna dry and it's gonna look phenomenal. So there's that technique. So, and that's fun. It's a fun thing to do. Okay, so another thing that I liked, and I often talk about it, is the hard and soft edges. Hard and soft edges really give your card interest. It gives your stamps more of an open-ended look to it. And this is what I mean by hard and soft edge. I'm using a round, I'm going to call this a tin brush, and I'm going to use some more of this Moon Glow. Okay, so when I put my brush stroke down, and I'm going to get some more Moon Glow so you can really see what I'm talking about. When I put my brush stroke down, I wish I had practiced hard and soft edges a long time before I figured out how important hard edges and soft edges are. Alright, so this edge is a hard edge. You can clearly see that there is an edge going one way, right? Now the side of the edge is still a hard edge because you can see the edge, but I could take my brush and soften this edge out so then it does not look like there's an edge. It's bleeding into the paper, which is way more intriguing. If you can see it, this edge is way more intriguing than that edge because it has different qualities. So then I can go in and I can just add to that, and look, it starts bleeding. And that is a really fun thing to do with watercolors. Now you think, well, why is that important? Well, let me show you. I have wisteria paint on my brush, and I'm going to make a very quick flower. This is a tutorial from Kateri Earring. She is a watercolorist in New York, and I love her. She also has some crafty classes. All right, so this is her way of making some impressionistic flowers. So there you go. So this, the outer side is a hard edge, the inside is the soft edge. Now what I could do is I am just adding water to the petals, and I'm moving the water around. Remember, I like to paint a lot with water. So I'm moving the water around, and then with my brush, I can soak it up a little bit, and with a paper towel, I'm blotting it. And then if I really wanted to, I'm going to take some of this actually I'll take some of this Moon Glow, and I'm just going to add a little bit right there because it's still wet, it's still going to move. And then you got a really pretty simple flower. And if I wanted to, I could add just the water and just kind of move that purple around a tiny bit, which I want to do. Just a little bit. And I'm going to have to add more Moon Glow because the water doesn't want to move. And as soon as that touches the water, it just kind of goes around. So there you go. That's what I mean by hard and soft edges. I hope that gives you an idea of how much fun you can do. To show you again, hard and soft edges with flowers it's really a fun technique. And this works really good with tube paint, any tube paint. My son got me some cheap tube paint at Walmart, and it's great for stuff like this because I can make a big floral like montage, I guess is what I would call it, and then make a card out of it, or like put a sentiment on it, and you're done. See how that color just moves? Isn't that so pretty? Oh, it makes me happy. And Daniel Smith has such amazing painting qualities that you can really make almost any flower work with it. And so there's your hard edge, your soft edge is everything in the middle. And then to just give it a little bit of a center, I don't know, I'm gonna do light pink, I guess, the wisteria color, which is really pretty, and it's not as translucent as the Moon Glow. The Moon Glow really has some neat watercolor properties. I see granulation, and anyways, I could paint on for hours and hours. But that is one way, that is one easy way you can paint some florals with the hard and soft edges. So I hope that gives you an idea of how soft edges and hard edges work. And the more that you can introduce hard edges and soft edges, the better. The other thing that Gene Haynes likes us to do, if you've ever taken Gene Haynes class, is to kind of go around with like one side of the petal, one side of the flower, and just kind of bleed it out. So and then that way you're getting even more of that hard and soft edge, and it just adds a lot of intrigue to it. And you can see now that it's a bit more mysterious than it was before. And if you want because you want the hard edge. All right, well, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.